Welcome to the 118th ever episode of the Dex Podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Kellz.
And tonight, we join you. It's, as of this recording, Friday night, November 18th, 2016, release day of Pokemon Sun and Moon in most parts of the world. Apologies to our brethren in the European market who don't get it till Wednesday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that. Pour one out. Dexcast homework, pour one out. But welcome. If you don't know who we are, I'm Alex.
I'm Kellz.
And we are from the Dex on YouTube. Jimmy is not here because Jimmy has not yet played the game. It's been a crazy... We're recording a Let's Play of it right now. We're a Pokemon channel on YouTube. We do trivia and strategy and all kinds of stuff if you're just finding us randomly by searching for Pokemon stuff this week. Jimmy's not here this week because we've been working to get this Let's Play done. We rebranded the channel. It's been a crazy couple of days. But
the Pokemon spirit, though, it is high.
It is high, my gosh.
It is crazy.
Yeah, and so today we're going to just jump in. We're not going to do anything spoilery this week. And in honor of our European friends who don't have the game yet and who want to listen to their Dex podcast this week, we are not going to be doing a fancier segment because we do that randomly and we don't want to accidentally spoil anything that way. So we're just going to keep it a little short today. We're going to give our initial reactions on the game and the presentation and stuff like that. We're not going to review the plot till a little bit later. But I promise that this time when we do review the plot, we're going to do it in far less time than we normally do. Just because I figure since we're doing the Let's Play, we don't have to walk you through the game and talk about secrets this time around. So instead, we're going to do it on here in probably about a week or two. But next week, we'll have a regular length podcast for you guys as well. But I just wanted to capture this moment because it's such a big day for Pokemon. And it just feels good to be here, right?
Yeah.
We were at work today, and everybody stayed a little bit later and got dinner. And we just all hung out. Dodger and Sam both picked their starters and stuff and started their games. Chris was playing. It just felt good. I played some Pokemon cards with Ted. It was a good night.
Great.
It's just a Pokemon day. And people being like, should I buy this? And seeing everybody on Twitter. It's just been great. So, Kellz?
Yeah.
How was your Pokemon week?
Well, I've been playing a lot of Pokemon this week.
It's frustrating, right?
Yeah.
We are Let's Playing. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that there are actual YouTubers who listen to this. But I don't know how many of you out there are familiar with Let's Plays. At least from our side of things, because I almost never watch them. I've never watched Game Grumps religiously. I think they're hilarious, but I just I'm never one to sit and watch a bunch of Let's Plays,
Mm-hmm.
But I have dang sure done a lot of Let's Plays. I've been a Let's Player longer than the Game Grumps have even existed. It's crazy. It takes a lot out of you, and in deciding to do a blind playthrough of Pokemon Sun, we can only do so many episodes in a day, maintaining our level of energy.
Yeah, it really kind of slows the game down for me because I don't usually have to talk to somebody while I play the whole game.
We're trying to make it a good show, so we talk on tangents and we'll explore a lot more and a lot more meticulously and slower. And I think it makes for better TV. But I think it makes for worse efficiency. Yeah.
I mean, regardless, I'm still having a blast with it, but I just want to play. You know?
Right. And I'm a little bit behind on my Moon. I'm just catching up to wherever Kellz is, and we're much farther in the game than what you've seen at this point. We've only released one episode.
Mm-hmm.
We've done many episodes already, but we're just trying to jam through them all because we want to. I want to get into the. Nitty gritty of Pokemon. I want to get into the post game, and I think it's going to be pretty meaty this time around. I don't know anything. I'm still relatively unspoiled, and it feels really, really good. And so this week it's a little bit late. Normally I wouldn't put out a episode of something new on a Friday, but it was the release day, so I wanted to put out the first episode of our Let's Play. And so this podcast is coming out a little bit later tonight, and so it doesn't really matter if you're in the Friday crew or the Saturday crew this week, because we're all Pokemon fans this week, and I thought that would be really cool. But yeah, I don't know. We're not going to talk too much about the specifics of the game today. But if you are trying to be completely blind to even if you're oh my gosh, even just knowing like whether or not like this like basic feature of the game is here is a spoiler to me. Like maybe today is not the episode you want to listen to, but we're only going to go into basic stuff, and we're definitely not going to spoil the plot. But please head over to our website and check out that Let's Play. Right?
Yeah.
I like how it's turning out.
You know, I'm just like super, super humbled and happy that people seem to be liking it. I've had people tweeting me all day saying like they can't wait to watch it, or that they're watching it and they're playing along, and like it's really cool. It like gives me a huge sense of community that people are watching and playing along with us.
My cousin Dominic, who I've been like, I never really like told him like, yo, you should do this. I mean, maybe a few times I have, but I never really like truly like pushed him or anything to try. I mean, he's something of a gamer, but he's more of a like outdoorsy kid a lot of the time. But I know he likes his portable games and he plays Xbox and stuff. But he texted me out of the blue. He like texts me like one time a year, and he was like, yo, are you gonna do Moon after you guys do your Sun Let's Play? And I was like, no, but if you want to watch a Sun Let's Play, like I put up the first episode today, and he was like, I know, I watched it, I loved it, I can't wait to see the next one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it's
so cool.
Yeah, it's just interesting to see people getting excited about the game. Have you done anything this week Pokemon related that hasn't had to do directly with Sun and Moon?
Well, not really, not that I can think of. I've just been so hyped and geared up for it.
I mean, literally, we've been like laser focused on like playing the game as much as we can. Like, we have this pretty fussy little capture unit, and we're just like sitting in our house, like playing it. I have it rigged up so that I can like put it onto the TV, and I just kind of like sit there while she plays. It's been really fun.
Yeah,
it really has been fun, and you really look at the game through a fine grained lens. Comparing our Let's Play to a lot of the other ones, it's funny to see what kind of stuff we focus on.
Yeah, because everybody like.
We read like a little detail in conversation, then we like go, oh.
I was just thinking about that actually earlier today, that everyone that plays Pokemon does it in like their way, And so while like one person is focusing on this, on like, one certain feature in Pokemon, another Let's Player could be focusing on something entirely different. We're doing it totally blind. And so we get like all the wonder and the oh my gosh, what is this? Sort of feel. So it's really cool. Like each Let's Play has a different feel to it, and
ours is much closer in tone. Ours is much closer in tone to the game itself, whereas some people just like want to play the game like and fit it into their personality, into their audience, and maybe there's a lot more like cursing and stuff, and it's just like really interesting to see how many different demographics Pokemon hits. It's crazy.
Yeah, everyone loves Pokemon.
It's like the biggest game so far. They shipped 10 million units. That's so many.
Dude.
That's more than they've ever shipped before. It's crazy. It's like GTA numbers. It's crazy. But yes,
Pokemon
before
rules.
we get into our first impressions, is there anything else you want to say?
Not so far. I think we should hop into.
Yeah, before we get into our first impressions of the game itself, I do want to get into a little bit of other stuff. So let's jump into the news.
Welcome to the news, darlings.
Sick.
So we went and saw Fantastic Beasts.
Oh my gosh, I really liked it
last night, and
I really liked it. It was great.
Yeah, I feel like I inserted a little bit of my 1920-ness into my news.
Yeah, that was a little weird, but the movie was really good.
Yeah, go check that out. Harry Potter's awesome, you guys.
Oh, if we
weren't doing a Pokemon channel, it'd probably be a Harry Potter channel.
Yep.
Anyway, Pokemon news. Here we go. This is this week's news. First of all, if you haven't played the game yet and you are a sad boy, let's pretend like it's not out yet. The starter's unique Z moves have been revealed. Decidueye gets a move called Sinister Arrow Raid. Incineroar gets Malicious Moonsault, and Primarina gets Oceanic Operetta. Now remember, these are not spoilers for the game because they are in official trailers. So if that's what you consider a spoiler, look elsewhere. But these were all really cool.
These were all released like a day or two before the game came out.
I feel like Decidueyes, I'm like, yes, this is right. It's like a hail of arrows, like that classic, like, the beginning of a ancient movie with war and the arrows shoot up. It's like that kind of vibe, right?
Yeah, it's cool.
And then Primarina has this awesome like giant water ball thing that's like an X-Men type power.
It looks like a summon, like a Final Fantasy summon.
Yeah, it looks awesome. But then
it's very cool.
Incineroars, I'm like, yo, this is like barely a physical attack.
You thought so?
Like he shoots stuff out of himself more.
I thought it was pretty cool.
It looks cool. I'm just saying it's incongruous with who he is, right? Don't you think? Maybe I need to watch it again. But I thought that his looked like a little bit like not. I thought it looked like more like a special attack than a physical one.
I see.
But he's like a wrestler, so I don't know. IDK. But anyway, check out that trailer. It's really super dope. What else was in the trailer?
Alolan Diglett and Doug Trio like officially revealed. What else? I don't know. There was a couple like other like little minor details. There were some Ultra Beasts revealed as well, but
Yes,
like
we'll
those
talk
are.
about those in just a minute.
I kind of bundled those in with like the Koro stuff,
Yeah,
so
we'll
that
talk
we could just
about
talk
those in
about all
just a
those.
minute.
But yeah.
Yeah. So that's it for the game right now. We'll get in a little bit more of that in a second. Pokemon Go events update. So check this out. Until November 23rd, which is just a couple days from now, Lapras is going to be more commonly found in Miyagi, Iwate, and Fukushima prefectures in Japan to tie in with a promotion. What is that promotion? Do you know who it's with?
I don't know who the promotion is with.
Okay.
I don't know if it's tied around a holiday or like something. It's like something that's in that specific area.
Sure. Okay. So basically, it just adds more Laprases to the area in Pokemon Go. And obviously, that doesn't apply to a lot of you out there. I'm sure there are listeners in Japan, as I've found to be the case in the past. But it does confirm the possibility that Pokemon Go events can be pretty localized and that they have a lot of freedom with what kind of events can happen. So, maybe this legendary thing is going to be like crazy. Like, wouldn't that be awesome if it was just like the coolest?
Oh yeah, I mean, I really think that they can do a lot of different things with these Pokemon events. Like they kind of proved it.
Birds.
They proved it with the Halloween event, and then after that, they had like a Super Spawn event. Like if those things start happening more and more often, it's just gonna keep me totally in.
Just simple things that just add a layer of depth. That's really all I need. That's really like all it takes to make me happy at this point.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
they're doing it well.
Yeah, I think they're like finally understanding like here's how we need to like roll these out because the pace seems to be picking up a little bit too, and that makes me happy. But anyway, that's Pokemon Go. Also, there was a Koro leak, and as we know, Koro is sort of like just like this sort of like official, non-official source for Pokemon news because it always like quote unquote leaks, but like I don't know, it seems
it's always like
it's kind
sanctioned.
of like part of the plan for it to leak.
Yeah.
There were 3 Ultra Beasts that were revealed in the leak, and one really, really weird-looking, mysterious Pokemon. Some of you may already know the name of this Pokemon by now. I know I've seen the videos out there, but I don't want to say it here yet. Like I said, the game is not out for a large part of the world, even though it is in most of the world. But we had their identities confirmed in the Pokemon trailer for the Ultra Beast, and then I'm not going to reveal the name of that other Pokemon. But they're on the official Sun and Moon website, so get ready. The first Ultra Beast is UB3, which is not called Lightning. It's called Lighting.
Yes.
Very weird. This guy looks like wires and lights, and he's an electric type, and he has sort of like a big...
Well, we don't know if it's an electric type because we don't really know the deal with the Ultra Beast, but it appears to be using like electrical moves.
It just looks like electric-y, but it has this sort of like big like it looks like a virus. Like the whole thing just looks like when you like zoom in on a virus.
Yeah, kind of.
It has this big sort of like snowball crystal star head thing. Pretty crazy.
Its fingers are like copper wires, exposed copper wires.
And it has
which is kind of cool.
And it has these like things up its wires, like little like things that are wrapped around at like intervals. And I couldn't decide if I thought they were lights or if they were like when you're trying to organize your desk and you like wrap stuff around the cable.
I thought that they were lights. I mean, like, why else would it be called lighting?
Right.
Like they look like little string lights.
I mean, that's just a weird name.
Oh, for sure.
Period. It's crazy that we're like, the game is out and we like still don't know what the Ultra Beasts are, but this is the last time. Yeah. I promise that game will be done. Mark my words. But that's UB3 Lighting. It looks really cool. It looks like kind of big and lanky and tall. What do you think about this guy?
It's neat. It's very
like,
weird.
It's like legit cool, right?
Yeah, it's cool. It's very weird looking, and I can't believe I don't know anything about what these guys do.
Yeah, it's nutty. Other than that, we got UB4, which is another one of these 2-form dudes. This one actually wasn't officially released, right?
This one was no, this was on Korokoro, and then after that it was on the Pokemon website.
Okay, on the site, but not in the trailer.
Not in the trailer. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's UB4 Blade and UB4 Blaster.
Yeah.
Blade looks like this like kind of like crazy sort of like paper origami warrior thing. It's like white and yellow. It has like 2 feet, but I don't even know if it looks like it. Like I'm not even positive it can move. It looks like a stiff, like card stock Pokemon with swords. So I mean, obviously it moves, but it just looks so like just like a folded paper.
Yeah, it really does. It's
it looks
cool.
nothing like an animal. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's interesting looking.
And then Blaster is like almost like a sci-fi like alien chick.
It's so weird. It's got like it looks like this like really skinny alien looking feminine thingy with a dress on, but then it has this helmet that's got these huge like robotic arms on it.
Yeah, it's so weird, right? Like,
and it's huge. It's
like,
and it's big.
So you know, we have those 2 Ultra Beasts that obviously look like specific people, but then the rest of them are like
not at all.
Nothing.
So like, what does that mean?
Yeah, it's really weird. Unless like Lily is like not even a human, but I don't even know. I literally don't know. I'm purely speculating at this point.
Right.
But anyway, it has like robotic claws. It looks really cool. It's crazy. Then there's UB5, which is Gluttony, which literally looks like it's from Persona. It's like a giant heartless monster. It has like a big giant mouth and like crab claws coming out of the mouth. It's supposed to be able to eat anything, and it produces no waste. Where does it go? What are Ultra Beasts? What are they?
The world may never know.
Here's the thing. It really matters to me. And I'm sure that Kellz feels the same way because of how uniquely our job has to do with the lore of Pokemon and how much is affected by the lore of Pokemon.
Oh, for sure.
Like a lot of the other people, you know, they're making content and it's not really like, we're like one step closer to inside the world than most of the other Pokemon entertainment there is out there. We assume a lot of the stuff is true in order to create our videos. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And so this type of stuff is like really important to me and I'm like obsessing over it. I think about it all the time and I'm glad that I've had the patience and like cleverness not to mess up my chances yet. Like I'm glad that I'm going to learn it in game, it seems like. But Gluttony looks really cool. Of all the ones, I think this is my favorite one so far.
Yeah, Gluttony's really cool looking.
I think he looks crazy awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, not to be outdone by the Ultra Beasts, they also announced a new Pokemon, which is an all-black, crystallized-looking Pokemon with these huge, long claw hands and these like rainbow lasers that like shoot out of its hands. Sometimes it seems like little like beams, like laser beams of different colors that are shooting out of its hands. It has like some kind of like visor in its face that has all these colors, and it seems like it probably has something to do with Solgaleo and Lunala. It seems like it's like a space-bound Pokemon. I don't know what it is. I think we're looking at the Mewtwo of the game.
I think so too.
I don't know, like the Zygarde of the game, if you will.
Yeah, I think it's like the secret legendary.
Here's the other thing, though.
Mm.
It also looks an awful lot like it could fuse with Zygarde to become the big Zygarde.
Oh, what? You think so?
I don't like necessarily think so, but like it looks enough like, doesn't it?
Weird.
Like, doesn't it kind of look like they could like kind of combine and be that thing?
I don't know.
Especially just because of the colors on the face.
I don't know.
Because doesn't the Zygarde have like blue
I think
and red?
Zygarde can just become 100% Zygarde when it's 100%.
I understand what you're saying, but like, let's look at the facts for a second. They look like it has like big long arms with like the lasers that are the same. Like, what are the odds that it's the same colors? It's weird, right?
I didn't think they were the same colors.
There's like blue. Look at this. Let me see. Let's see. Pokemon.com. Let's look at it. I'm gonna look it up right now. I don't know how to use this website.
This one is not on the website. This one was just leaked on Korokoro.
What? All right.
What?
All right. November.
And in like a press release or something, right?
2016. I don't. Yeah, I have the. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I have the actual. I have the asset. We're gonna get to the bottom of this right now because I want to like before this like comes out. I really want to just get my theories out there for that last good week of theorizing here.
I didn't see the press release version of this Pokemon. I only saw the Korokoro version, so I'm interested to see like
It's
a
a very-
high res version. What I missed.
Sure.
So pull that. up.
Yeah, it's coming. I got you covered. So here it is. So,
all right.
So come look at this thing.
Okay.
So it's got like these big, like it's very like geometric in shape, and then the face looks like it could almost be like the head.
I don't know, dude.
And the hands, but look at the colors.
I just don't. I just don't see it. I just don't think it has anything to do with Zygarde.
All right, never mind. Let's move on.
Well, I mean, that's your theory. That's your theory, but I'm just trying to counter it. I mean, to me, it looks like something totally different. It looks like an evil force, and like I don't think the colors are the same. It looks like he's got orange and blue and green and purple, and Zygarde is green, blue, and red.
Look at this. They look to be related. Look at on his chest. It has all the colors: the orange, the purple, the blue, the red. If they're not connected to each other, if they're not the same creature, I want to say that they have something to do with each other. Because look at that thing. They're like geometric. The hands are like the same kind of. It almost literally looks like the hands just got like Zygarde scales on them and changed the colors. Like it just seems so like if Zygarde's not part of the story, I think that it's going to relate in some way. That's my guess of the game. Guess of the day.
My posit is that it has something to do with Solgaleo and Lunala's full moon and radiant sun forms.
What is that?
That's on the website, Pokemon Sun Moon website. It says like something happens and Solgaleo and Lunala get radiant sun and full moon form. They're so much more powerful in this state.
You sure it's not like they're just like they're primal?
I think it may be something like that, but my crackpot theory, knowing nothing but the look of this Pokemon, is that it's gonna do something to cause. I think it's the bad thing that's going to cause Solgaleo or Lunala to come try to save the day.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, that I'm with you. I just think that whatever reason brings Zygarde to Alola is the same force. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there's something going on that connects all of them together.
All right.
But that's it. That's my last guess. I don't know anything else about it. Let's just move into our reaction to Sun and Moon. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit of a shorter one today, but we're going to get into it a little bit. I just don't want to wreck the plot too much. So, initial impressions of the game.
So far, from the amount that I've played, I'm very impressed with the environments. I think the environments are very, very detailed, not only in like the way they were designed, but the sound design as well. There's like multiple paths on routes that I think is really great. And it just, everything seems to blend together very, very well and very seamlessly. The size of like the houses are very big. So I think all the environmental stuff is very, very cool looking. They really, really created like a big, big world.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I said this in one of the episodes as well, but like, it just seems like they like went like, remember when Pokken came out and we were talking about the environments in Pokken, about how like it really makes the world of Pokemon seem like conceivable in a like realistic way?
Right.
I don't think that Sun and Moon hits quite the level of reality that Pokken does.
Sure.
But I definitely think that like if there's a real version of the Pokemon world and like a sort of like iconic version of it that's like simplified for a video game, I think that Pokemon Sun and Moon is like one step closer to the real life version of Pokemon than the X and Y was.
Sure.
Like it's more realistically rendered.
Sure.
It just feels richer. Like the world feels a little bit more real. It seems like there's a little bit more logic. Like for example, there's cars. It seems simple, but like the fact that there's cars like implies that like things happen.
Yeah.
People drive around.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Simple things like that. And I think that's cool. And even more basically, like because as far as I know, there's no gyms. And even if there are gyms, it seems like the gyms are not part of the major plot of the story. You know? It's just because they haven't been mentioned in any of the trailers or anything like that. Like, it seems like the game moves along at a pace that feels a lot more like a regular JRPG or even like the plot of the anime. Like
yeah,
the Pokemon anime.
I would say there's very much more of a story than I've seen than I've seen before. And I wouldn't say it's like a guided story, but it's like a logical progression. And,
It's a
and
story
you feel a
that-
little bit more like, okay, I think I know where
It's
I'm
a
going and
coherent
what
story.
I'm doing.
Like it's like a cohesive story. Let's
And there are
say.
cutscenes. There are a lot more cutscenes than we've seen before,
Yeah,
which
people
is neat.
People are sort of. I've been seeing chatter online of people sort of like chalking it up to like the Final Fantasy 13 syndrome. Are you familiar with that?
No, I'm not.
Where the whole thing of Final Fantasy 13, which you played a lot of, right?
I played a little bit of it.
Is that basically for like the first like 10 to 15 hours of the game, you're just kind of on a track and there's battles to win and stuff like that, but you don't have a lot of freedom to move around. And I don't think that's true in Pokemon Sun and Moon. I think people are reacting to the fact that there's more of a story in this game that like is a little bit more palpable at any given time. You know, like the other games, it's kind of just like walk around, do the gym, and then like sometimes between the gyms, like you'll run into like 10 minutes of story here or there. Whereas in this game, I feel like the story is constantly happening, but at any time you can go anywhere that you want and like explore. And there's much more stuff to find and explore in this game. Like things like quests are there. Now, granted, I don't know if you eventually get a quest log in this game or not, which I think you should just based on the number of quests that you're getting. But there's all kinds of just like people just like, yo, like go find me this. Like I want this. And then you're like, okay. And then you get a prize.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which is that's super cool. What were you just talking about right before you said that?
I was talking about
about exploring. It does seem a little bit more like it is guided in a way. However, as you progress through the story, you can go back and explore all the areas, like even to a greater extent than you did when you were going through the story part. And I think that in the format that this game is, where just like the fact that it takes place on 4 different islands, I think that it's okay to have it a little bit more guided, so that you do hit every little bit, and then you have like before you go to the next island, you just like have some time to like look around and find what you didn't find, catch up with what you need to do.
well, yeah.
Like figure that stuff out. So I really like the way that it progresses, and I think it is different than we've seen in Pokemon so far, but I think it's a positive.
Yeah, I don't want, like, what I'm saying is I'm responding to the idea that people are saying it's somehow hand-holdy.
Oh no,
I really
it doesn't feel like that
I really
at all.
don't think it is. I just think that the story is much more like
Active.
surface level active. Yeah. And so you're just doing a lot more stuff, and like people are with you a lot more often, and like things are happening around you, and the world is like more than just like you. You know what I mean? Like it's so unbelievable, like in the other games, that like a 10-year-old boy like saves the day from like an evil criminal organization and stuff like that. But in this game, at least it gives context for that. You know, like even though you're still like bopping hilarious Team Skull guys all the time, you know what I mean? Like at least like you're never like just like, so I'm just like 10 days into my journey on my own, and like some dudes jump me and I like beat them. You know what I mean? Like there's a reason why they're there every time. There's something happening each time, but you're still like on your journey, but there's also just like a lot of places to go. Like, say for example, we all know that from the demo that we got the Tauros, that is your Pokemon ride.
Right.
And as we're going through the game, which isn't laid out exactly the way that the demo is, obviously, which is similar to the way that they did the Oros demo. But like, you know, you're going through like a route, and you know, the first trial, for example, you go through and you beat the trial, and then you see like in that area, like the breakable rocks that you see in the demo. And you're like, oh, I'm going to have to remember this, because later when I get access to Tauros, I'm going to want to come back here and like go get that TM back there.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like, that's the type of stuff where I'm like, oh man, this game like doesn't want us to be able to like get everything in one go. It's a little bit more like Zelda-y in that case, like in a little bit more like Link to the Past-y in that way, which I think is like a great step forward. It's like almost like a mini version of like Skyrim or The Witcher or something like that.
Sure. You know what I just thought of? I was thinking about the fact that people say that it's a little bit hand-holdy, but you also have to consider, if you're thinking that like a lot of it is tutorial based, how many things they tweaked slightly. Like all features that were announced in the demo, Pokemon Ride, Pokemon Refresh, things like that, the Poke Finder, like all of those things require a tutorial because it's something new that we haven't seen in Pokemon before.
Right, they really do need to teach you.
I think that they're doing a great job of not being overbearing with the tutorials on all the new features and teaching you how to use them.
Feels pretty natural.
It feels natural, and it feels just kind of like easy. And there's a lot of little things to do around the town and everything, which I personally love because I'm all about that stuff.
I will say the very beginning of the game does drag a little bit. In that sense. Yeah, like, I mean, the first episode of the Let's Play, not a single battle. And it's like 40 minutes long.
I guess that's true.
That's nutty, right? But like, here's the thing. Like, in exchange, we finally get like, you know, if you go back and you read even a review of like Gen 3, you know, if you go back that far, you read those things, and like the reviews always say something along the lines of like, yo, this game, just like all Pokemon games, is like fantastic and great, and we love it, but there's like no reason for it to hold on to these like archaic features that have been totally like outpaced by like modern games. You know, that's like the thing that people always say about Pokemon.
Sure.
But in this game, little things, right? You don't have to like send the Pokemon. You can like, if you catch a Pokemon and you already have 6 Pokemon, you can swap it out. You can even take the item if it's holding a held item and you want to send the Pokemon to the box. You can take the held item. You know, things like the daycare
lots
center.
of little efficiencies.
The daycare center like doesn't like randomly just like level up your Pokemon for no reason anymore. They're just like, ours just doesn't do that because it's not a daycare center. It's a nursery or something like that, right? It's like
right. I mean, I don't think that's too huge of a spoiler, but I think that's like really, really cool for those who like to do breeding.
Right,
Is that now you don't have to
spoiler.
worry about your Pokemon leveling up. They just breed. That's all.
And things like, you know, once you've beaten a Pokemon and you know what type it is, you can easily check what your moves do again, so you can like reference like you would in like the card game or something like that, so you can like make sure you're making the right move, and it helps you like learn that stuff more innately if you like have quick access to it, you know? And then even like things like once you beat the Pokemon, once you can see your effectiveness against it, stuff like that is really good. They like macroed down the Pokedex location markers for the Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like once you see a Pokemon, you can like go to the Pokedex and click on it, and it'll show you down to the patch of grass where it is, you know? Things like that. The trainer school actually like works a lot better as a teaching tool in this because like Lord knows everybody skips that thing.
Yeah.
Everybody gives you stuff. Like it actually feels worth it.
Yeah, lots of NPCs just like give you things.
It actually feels worth it to like walk around and talk to people because there's like actually a lot of stuff to find.
But like, let's not get into too many specifics, but say mostly on the whole, it feels much huger. Like everything is bigger. Everything is just like dialed up.
Yeah, there's
hard to describe, right? It's just like everything's a little bit like Pokemon, but like more.
It's
and
more.
It's refined.
Like
it's really refined.
Like the animations for the moves, right? Finally,
Yeah.
like instead of just being like the sprite like moving forward and it going like, psh, like all the moves have like sort of like specific
Personality.
things. Like for example, like Pursuit, right? Obviously, you know that Pursuit. What the move is? It's a dark type attack. But if you're trying to switch out that turn, it does double damage, right? So you imagine that Pursuit is something that like you hit somebody while they're trying to run away.
Right.
The move now actually makes the opponent that's getting hit start to back away with fear. And then just before they get to turn away, the Pokemon hits them. Like, and that's Pursuit now.
It's great.
That's like so good. Or Astonish.
It like looks like it's about to happen, which is really cool.
Yeah. Astonish is like a move where you like, you know, it's a ghost type move. So you assume it's like, you know, startling someone basically. And so the move is literally like the Pokemon who's doing the move like pretends like they're going to walk away. And then at the last second, they're like, boo. I love that. What are some other stuff? The music has voicing and stuff. It's like higher fidelity music than there has been before.
It's great. The
And
music
it's
is
all
very,
really
very
like
good.
really nicely orchestrated and really captures that Alola theme a little bit more. The menus all look really good.
The bag, there's no ball pouch, which makes me upset.
It's a little annoying that there's no ball pouch in the bag. What was the other thing that I was like, oh.
They don't. There's not the choice for like use the last item that you used, so that's kind of annoying.
Yeah, that is weird. I like not even like for Pokeballs.
Like a couple like good bag features that I really liked from the previous games are not back, which is interesting.
It seems like an oversight.
Yeah.
There is one thing about this game that is truly not spectacular. And I want to preface bringing this up because I don't want to sound like a whiner. And I've been trying to sort of like think about why they would build this way. And I've come up with some reasons. So at the end of this little gripe fest that I'm going to go into right now, I'm going to like also talk about, I guess in this case it's the angel's advocate since I'm already the devil. But I don't know if you guys remember this, but in the last game there was something called horde battles.
Right.
And horde battles were a cool idea because you run into a lot of different Pokemon at once. Sometimes one of them shiny, or you can knock them all out at once, and you get like it's like doing 5 battles at one time.
Mm-hmm.
It's great for like training and stuff like that. But sometimes it's a horde of Poochyena, and each one of them has Intimidate, and then you can't do any damage to them, and then they start like growling at you, and then you get paralyzed, and then what started as a battle that you wanted to be in for about 20 seconds extends into a 5 to 6 minute battle.
Right.
And the whole time you're just like anxiously tapping your foot and being like, all right, I want to get out of here. And then you're like faced with the choice of like running away and losing the experience, or like sticking it out and like losing half your health. And it sucks. That was like the downside of the horde battles in X and Y. And luckily in Sun and Moon, they do not have those. However, once you beat the first trial, and this is not too much of a spoiler, I don't think, because it's not really spoiling anything about the plot, just a mechanical thing. Once you beat the first trial, it seems like, that might be an arbitrary marker, but around that time, we started to notice that Pokemon were starting to call for each other. So say you're fighting like a Pikipek, or a Slowpoke is even a better example, because Slowpoke just makes me crazy. And so you're fighting the Slowpoke, and you're just about to knock it out. Without even using up its turn, even if it's paralyzed, this can happen. Even if it's fully paralyzed the same turn, the Slowpoke at the end of the whole turn cycle can call for help, and there's like a seemingly maybe like 30 to 40% chance, at least in my experience. Would you say that's about right?
Maybe even more.
Yeah, perhaps like 50% chance that another one shows up. Now, on the one hand, this is fine because yes, like if I'm training, and I'm just gonna fight a bunch of Slowpoke, like. That's great. Like either I want the experience from the Slowpoke, or maybe I'm like trying to EV train or something and I need like Slowpoke. That's good. Those are some of the things that I thought of that maybe make this worth it. But when you're in the game and you're close to the level of these Pokemon and they keep summoning other ones, not only can you not catch them until there's only one left, which becomes like really annoying sometimes because you can't get rid of the other one because he keeps coming back and like doing more status effects on you, and it just
there doesn't seem to be a limit of how many times they can call for help either.
Right. It's just a kind of a sloppy thing for my first time through. And now granted, maybe the game is not wanting you to grind. Maybe it's a situation where it's just there for those people later who are going to come back and maybe have something to get out of it. And like, it's just something you deal with when you play through the game. Because it hasn't really been that much of a problem, except when we're in a situation where we're trying to grind a lot. And then it just starts to become crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe another thing it could be, maybe it has something to do with shiny chaining. Maybe the more guys you bring in, the more chance they have for them to be shiny or something like that. But as of right now, that's the only really huge complaint I have about the game.
It has been, in our Let's Play that we've done, it has been like a point of annoyance, at least more than once.
We're not even that far into the game. And I'm sure that as we get to that point, because, in every Pokemon game, like you kind of get to that point where you don't really worry anymore. Mm-hmm. Like you're just like too strong.
Sure.
And I'm sure that once we get to that point, it'll be okay. And maybe just become more of a minor annoyance, or maybe we'll find some way around it with some sort of item. But it doesn't look like it's an accident. Like there's items that like increase the number of times this works.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, there seems to be some kind of upside to it. But I don't know what it is. The other thing that I want to talk about, which I just found out about, is the Festival Plaza, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think this is a spoiler either. Again, this is much more of a mechanical thing, but this is kind of what replaces the, what was that thing called last time?
The Shopping Mall 9 or whatever it was.
What?
What?
What are you talking about?
That like shopping mall that you make?
Yeah, sort of something like that. It's kind of in that zone. Mm-hmm. Basically, this is like your sort of like social area. It's like all the place where you go to like battle and trade as well. So the thing with the O-Powers in it, what's that thing called?
I don't remember.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The thing where you can like click on their names and their faces come by. It's like a replacement for that. And it has like little shops and things that you can unlock by interacting with the people that you street pass, and you get like currency, and it's really actually like quite fun and addictive. And I'm not going to say too much about it because I don't want to mess it up, but there are some like training things. Like I found a restaurant that like you can eat at it 3 times a day using the coins that you earn in there, and it raises your Pokemon level by 1, just like a time saver, 3 a day. And you can like, as you go through it, you can like unlock different shops. So maybe you can get more shops with more levels in them or whatever. But like, it's tight. And there's like little mini games that you can do that use the people that you street pass. It's fun. They also added a quick link feature, which is really cool. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't, because I'm playing on the Capture DS, which is not like link up compatible.
It doesn't use the quick link?
Oh, well, it can, but I haven't because we've been just let's playing on it.
So here's what the quick link is. Mm-hmm. It's really nothing. So if you just want to, if you're standing next to somebody and you just quickly want to like interact with them in some way, I don't think it's as fully featured as going to the Festival Plaza. But basically you just tap it and then it's like a screen. And as long as you're like touching the screen, it like, if somebody else is touching the screen near you, it just like boop, and then you're connected. If you guys are both like holding your screens down, it just connects you.
That's cool.
Pretty cool stuff.
That's very cool.
So it just looks like everything is like awesome about this game. That's also where you can host the tournaments, is inside the
Festival?
The Festival Plaza, yeah. And those are, casual tournament. I mean, like that stuff is like the stuff that's really going to be, we're not going to really be able to see how awesome that stuff is for like a couple weeks when everybody's like starting to like get their teams built and stuff like that. Because, not everybody's like a Pokemon YouTuber and it's going to be done in a couple days and just like jamming hard on it. But a lot of us are. And we're all helping each other out. So once we're all battling and stuff, those tournaments could turn into streams, can turn into all kinds of great stuff.
Yeah, dog.
And all in all, I'm just like very happy about the game. The story is like actually interesting. I actually feel invested in the story.
I'm way into it.
There's like secrets and twists.
The animation is great.
The cutscenes are like cinematic. It feels good.
It's cute. Every Pokemon is so cute.
Yeah, it's absolutely nutty, guys. And I may be jumping the gun on this, but this might be the best Pokemon game I've ever seen.
I'm kind of with you.
Right?
Yeah.
It's so hard. Like, all the Pokemon look great. It's so hard. Every time we run into a new Pokemon that we haven't seen yet, we're like, oh, do we want this one or not? We're having so much fun, like, on the routes. Everybody looks great. Like, there's, like, funny riding. Remember when Kukui said, my body is ready?
Yeah.
I also just love Kukui as the, like, shabby professor dad friend.
Yeah. And everything that he has is,
he reminds
like, trash.
he reminds me of Steven Universe's dad.
Oh, yeah, he kind of does.
Yeah. He's just, like, a nice dude. Lily's an interesting character.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a lot going on. Team Skull's really funny. And there's a lot of mysteries yet to unfold. So be excited.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Also, guys, we've updated the look of our website. So if you haven't, or our channel, so if you haven't had a chance to head over there, go take a look. Is there anything else that you want to say about Pokemon Sun and Moon before we go?
I think that if you are wondering if you should be getting it, that this one is the one to get.
It's a great, like, remember when Monster Hunter 3 came out and we were like really into it, but it was like hard to like convince somebody who wasn't like ready to go there to get into it.
Right.
But then Monster Hunter 4 came out and all of a sudden like just like a few small tweaks made it like a great starting off point for the series that like everybody could get behind.
Yeah.
That's what Sun and Moon is. Sun and Moon is like, oh yeah, like you guys used to play Pokemon back when you were kids, but you want to like come back into it, but it's like a little bit more complex now. Come on back. All the Pokemon that you like are like different and cool looking with the Alolan forms.
Mm-hmm.
The Alolan forms really just freshen up those old Pokemon a lot. Like
I've never been so happy to see a Rattata.
Or a Muck.
Right?
Yeah. Yo, that Alolan Muck though. I also unfortunately saw some other Alolan Pokemon today on the internet. I got spoiled on one more species. I'm not going to say what it was, but it totally rocks. It's like such a great, like, it's such a, the way that they make the Alolan Pokemon Alolan is always so damn clever. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Whatever, like, thing they use. Like, I love the Sandshrew, like, can't curl up in the ball, and so he slides on his belly on the ice, and he's like an igloo man.
Yeah.
I love that. Like, it's just so good, and all of them have that same, like, it just rocks. It's just, like, this sort of, like, really sort of, like, quirky flair that Pokemon usually has in the background is like very much in the foreground in Alola.
Yeah,
And I
it
love
definitely
that.
is. Oh, there's so many references, so many characters like reference. It's funny.
Yeah, and like look at the difference in
just
tone of
funny.
the anime. You know, I know the first episode is like online and with subtitles. Like, look at the difference in tone between the two shows, just to give you an idea of where their head's at with Alola versus Kalos. You know?
Yeah, I think it's like a big tonal reboot for the series right now.
Yeah, and I couldn't be more happy about it.
It's great.
Yeah.
I've been having a blast with it so far. I love it. I'm totally invested.
Yeah. So guys, we're gonna call it right here. Hopefully you guys are having a nice Saturday morning. # Friday crew, Saturday crew, Friday crew. I'm sorry that you guys didn't get a podcast yesterday, but we absolutely didn't want to let you hanging. But there's so much to do. There's so much coming down the pipes for the decks in the next couple weeks. I'm finally like getting off my butt and like getting some stuff done, and it just feels really good. Like everything's changing, everything's coming. Pokemon Sun is going to be just a huge kick in the pants for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I just can't wait to battle all you guys and see you guys at conventions.
Yeah,
and
man.
be obsessed with Pokemon again.
Absolutely.
So like I say, we aren't going to do a fancier segment this week, so this is going to bring us to the end of the podcast. But just like last time when we did a super long one, we will do a super long one this time as well. So feel free to write in. Don't worry if you wrote in this last week. You will not go discounted. I will not mark those emails as read until next week. Keep playing Pokemon Sun and Moon. If you guys have any questions about the game or about what's going on our channel, feel free to reach out to us on Twitter. If you're a company and you want to advertise with us, find us on here. We have a really, really popular Pokemon podcast, probably the biggest one on the internet. If you want to advertise with us, please find us on Twitter. But if you are a listener and you want to share your thoughts with us, feel free to send your emails into thedexcast@gmail.com. Again, that's THEDEXCAST@gmail.com. And we'll read them live on the air next week. Can't be sure it's going to be you, but keep trying. And we read all of them. We just don't read them all live on the air. And I'm sorry I don't respond to every last one of you, but there's a lot of you. I don't know if you guys realize how many there are. But anyway, guys, this has been so real. I'm glad that you guys were here. I'm glad to be here for this week. Pokemon rules. It's so great. I'm Alex.
I'm Kellz.
Anything else you want to say to the fam before we head out?
You guys rule. This game has been such a pleasant breath of fresh air for me. I can't. This day was great,
right?
Because it was just everyone was happy and playing Pokemon, and it just felt great.
Feels good. Just feels good
great
to be around, right?
Yeah,
love it.
I love that. I love that feeling, and I love that Pokemon inspires that in so many different people.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, that's this week's podcast. It's been real. Thank you for listening. Pokemon Sun and Moon. See you next week. Bye.
Wait a minute.